What's going on, everyone? JoeYoshi here, doing another LTG. This is about our thoughts on post E3. I'm joined by Pogoplay.
No.
Pogoplay.
Yeah.
And Irish. And of course, Lolo's here.
What's going on, guys?
Nothing.
How you good? We're not. Oh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
All right.
E3 this year, huge announcements. Of course, the Xbox One was announced and the PS4.
I was there.
You were there. We can have
No one else here was.
super insight.
Who cares about your life?
So Pogo, okay, let's just first question, how was E3?
It was awesome. It was to be serious. I mean, it was actually a lot of fun, and I got to see a lot of games. Got to see a lot of booth babes, and that's really about it. I got to see Nolan North, which was really cool. Yeah, there's so much at E3. Like, I've been to PAX, and there's way too much at E3 to just even talk about all of it. I mean, I can definitely talk about like the big highlights that I saw, but just to do everything or to even talk about everything that I experienced, it's just too much.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
So it was a good expo though, and
That's awesome. Who would you say had the best presentation?
like conferences.
Conferences, yeah.
Well, I mean, without a doubt, Sony.
Sony?
Sony.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Sony, because they just gave Microsoft the giant ass raping of the century, and that's that.
That's that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked EA's. I thought EA had a really solid conference. Mirror's Edge. They showed off Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, the new one. Yeah.
Need for Speed. I mean, the list goes on, right? So, I mean, I got a chance to play Need for Speed on the show floor too. It was great. And Titanfall is by EA as well,
Oh, it is an EA.
and that was
Okay.
at the conference too. So,
Interesting, okay.
yeah.
So in terms of Sony, with the PS4, well, I can actually say this about the Xbox One as well, because now we do know what the actual specifications of the consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Hardware-wise, let's go with the actual aesthetics of them. What do you think of the designs of both of the consoles?
They're fucking boring.
They are boring. Irish,
They're-
what would you say about that?
Actually, they're both rather similar. I mean, if you look at the Xbox One, it's a black box. PS4 is a black box with little tiny ridges.
Well, it's a parallelogram.
At the actual conference, they had both consoles on display. The PS4 looked a lot smaller than, well, I shouldn't say a lot smaller, but it did look a little bit smaller than the Xbox. Yeah, parallelogram. Honestly, I just don't care what shapes at this point.
Personally, I'm not a fan of, well, either of the consoles, like design-wise, because the Xbox One just looks like a PVR box, and the PS4, I don't know what they were trying to accomplish with the design of that. It just looks like it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb, especially with like I haven't seen the back of the console, so I don't know how anything's gonna plug into it. But if it actually is slanted, and then you actually have to plug in your HDMI, the power, whatever else, on the slant, I find that kind of weird.
No. So it is slanted.
Yeah.
But on the back, basically what they have is they have it slanted, and then like on the back they kind of have like that.
Oh, like a
it's-
flat kind of.
Yeah, so
okay.
it's flat on the back, so everything's going to win flat.
Okay.
The one thing I do like about the Xbox One over the PS4 is the fact that there's an HDMI input. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can plug anything you want. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to fucking control the system and just going to plug my PS4 into my Xbox One and just control everything with my Kinect. Because, I mean, let's be honest, you're going to be controlling everything with Kinect if you have an Xbox One because you're going to have that option.
Do you think that's going to work, though? Because I do know the PS3 had its encrypted HDMI pass-through, or not pass-through, the HDMI output.
It's really hard to tell because you're supposed to be able to control your TV with the Xbox Kinect, which to be honest, I really don't know how it's going to work.
Right.
Because if you saw on the first demo, they were showing it off and they were switching channels with their Kinect sensor, and I really don't know how it's going to work. I don't know if you're going to need to plug it into your actual DVR or if it's just going to go right through the HDMI, which I would kind of guess it would.
Mm-hmm.
But does HDMI have that technology?
I would assume it does.
Can you utilize Kinect through another platform? Is I guess my main question.
Well, that's It is completely, it's data based. So they could encrypt anything. Just it's all dependent on the actual device that you're trying to connect, if it's compatible with receiving said data.
Mm.
Because otherwise it's just lost data that it doesn't know what to do with, and it's just, okay, ignore.
Yeah.
I could see Microsoft coming out with an actual DVR box, though, to be used with the Kinect.
Well, you remember hearing about, I don't know if you guys heard about the rumors, but there's going to be initially 2 different models of the Xbox One.
I did.
One
hear
is
this,
going to be $299.99, and that was going to retail, you have to pay, commit to 2 years of Xbox Live for $15 a month.
Yeah.
And then the next one is $499.99, which is the price of the current one. The $299 one, I think, will be available to the Microsoft Store, because they're already doing that for the current 250 gigabyte Xbox with Kinect.
Right.
Where you can buy it for $100 and then just pay X amount of months to do it. So I think they'll do the same model, which, in all honesty, if they just want to do a DVR model, just sell the Xbox One for cheaper, maybe with a less hard drive. But I mean, I think it'd just be kind of a waste of time just developing a whole new console for that.
Just DVR, yeah.
So I mean, Microsoft is really utilizing the One to make it so it's your one-stop entertainment. I don't think they'll go with the DVR model, even if they were wanting to, because I mean, why do that when you can just sell your Xbox One, which thousands of people would buy? And I mean, people are getting pissed off because Microsoft announced a used DRM shit, but if you like Xbox games, you're going to buy an Xbox One. If you like PlayStation games, you can buy a PS4. No matter what the case is going to be, you're going to be buying one of these consoles no matter what.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. To be honest, I think people just need to chill the fuck out. And I'm serious. Chill the fuck out with the announcements with the Xbox. And, people are really skeptical about Microsoft saying, "Oh, what's stopping them from doing it again?" Well, even if they do, the technology they had, and I read a really good article, the technology they had, the reason why they banned the used games in the first place was so they can back it all up onto the cloud. So if I was to come to Lethbridge and, just kind of hang out.
Yeah, you'd have your entire library right there.
Right
at our
there.
place,
And I wouldn't need to bring my games or anything. I just log into my account and it's all there.
Yeah.
Right? So that was a really cool feature. Now that feature's out because of the used game is back in.
Totally.
And I mean, people are getting pissed off. It's like, oh, Microsoft said this. Well, it's like, the same shit's gonna happen on PS4. People don't realize that EA is a fucking money grabber, and they're gonna use their online pass. Oh, sorry, they're not saying online passes anymore. They're gonna have one single product codes because that's the way EA is.
Yeah.
And even if Microsoft's like, oh yeah, we have used games, and PS4's like, yeah, same thing. It's up to the publisher ultimately on if they're gonna make their game tradable or not.
Absolutely. See, about that whole used game DRM cloud-based gaming thing, it's a very, very PC game Steam approach. Technically, it is Steam.
I thought it was a good idea.
It is a good idea. I do think it is a good idea long term. Don't try to shove it down people's throats immediately.
No.
That's the thing, and that's where they failed. If they were to have maybe slowly integrated it into, say, just the norm, where you do have your disk-based, and you can, you bring it places, whatever else, you read it off the disk. But if they also implemented, say, hey, you could do that as well as, if you wanted to, you can have your disk, but license it to yourself. Mm-hmm. License it to your account, and then just forget about the disk. But at any time, you can revoke that license and make that disk back to just the regular, put it in your console, read it off the disk, done and done. You can trade it in if you need to.
Yeah.
If they did that, incorporated both the systems, instead of shoving down people's throats yeah, here's the DRM, you can't do anything without online, you need to have it locked to your account, more or less, people backlashed. People really didn't like that. I mean,
Yeah, no.
I mean, you were...
Holy, I was definitely a huge advocate for just the whole anti-DRM movement, more or less, because I mean there wasn't a day that went by where Joe and myself were constantly going on and on about this too, because I guess my main concern has always been that developers and publishers, there seems to be more and more opportunities for them to just kind of manipulate the consumer to do something that they want, so that the product isn't misused at least in their eyes. And that frustrates me, because it's never been about that to me, in games at least. It's never been about how we use the product, right? It's always just been how we interpret it, how we take it in, right? Mm-hmm. And so I always felt like we were always just backtracking and going in this kind of sort of backwards direction, right? And so, yeah, at least in that sense.
I am going to say, though, I think Sony got a little bit lucky. And when I say lucky, I mean, every time Jack Tretton fucking spouts off now, and I'll be honest, this is coming from an Xbox fanboy. I was never PlayStation. I didn't like the PlayStation. I was always Nintendo or Xbox. But in today's age, whenever Jack Tretton fucking talks, it's always, oh, we were listening to the consumer. Oh, we can do this. It's like, well, were you really? Were you really listening to people, or did you?
See. Or did you just get off lucky?
Yeah, did you just do it? Like, I mean, the big thing was used games, and Sony had the rumor that it was going to be the same as the Xbox One, where you're going to have the blocking used games and all that kind of shit. And when Sony announced that, I mean, I was in the conference.
Yeah.
And when Sony announced that it won't impose any restrictions, and I mean, holy shit.
Real talk? It's been bothering me the whole fucking time. We had a bottle and a fucking can.
All right. But when Sony announced, fuck, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
When Sony announced the used PS4 game thing, I don't know what you guys heard on the conference. I haven't watched the conference. I like watched it in person.
Yeah, you watched it in person.
I don't know how loud it was there, but it was fucking rumbling inside that whole expo hall. It was just like,
oh yeah. Well, when we saw the announcement, like, I got up like, I'm in his living room and I'm just like
yeah, no, but it was huge, and I don't know. Something about Jack Trent just going up there and just saying, "Oh, we were listening to consumer and everything." It's like, well, you offer your PS4 for $399.99 without the PlayStation Eye, and now it's going to limit your ability to, develop PlayStation Move items. And he was talking about that too, because it was supposed to be bundled with the PSI and it's supposed to be $499.
Right.
Well, if that was the case, and I mean, where's that $40 delta? Why did you bump up the console by another $40 to sell this fucking eye attachment, right? And but yeah, when he was talking, he was saying how the PlayStation Eye, they wanted Move to be integrated with some of the games, and Move is built in right into the controller. That's what that light is.
Yeah. The thing on the top.
And I thought it was going to be a really cool idea. It's going to, in my opinion, I thought it was going to be kind of like 6-axis, where you're going to have that kind of motion gaming to your game. So like if you're playing Drive Club and you really want to make like a sharp turn, you can like, do that, and it'll, because everyone does that. When you're playing a racing game, you're taking a sharp turn, you're going to go like that, right? You're like, oh shit. But I mean, I thought that would be a kind of a cool little system. But no, I don't know.
But because it's not implemented, it doesn't. It means.
Yeah, it doesn't give the developers that option now. Whereas Kinect,
it comes bundled with Kinect.
And that's what I like. The one thing I always defended about the Xbox One was like the one thing I could grab onto when like everyone was hating on the Xbox One because DRM sucks, and it's just like, well, the Kinect is now available all the time. Like developers aren't. It's going to be like either the death or the birth of more really shitty Kinect games.
Yeah. But the Kinect, everyone hates Kinect right now. And people are like, oh, well, I don't fucking care about Kinect. I don't want it. It's like, well, if it's bundled with the console, you're getting it for free. Well, essentially for free. But if you're getting it, you're going to use it. And yeah, you know what? There's going to be a lot of games people aren't going to buy because it's fully Kinect. And the Kinect, it does have its limitations. You don't have the shooter aspect. You can't play shooters on it. I mean, you can, but it's just going to be like a Steel Battalion nightmare.
Yeah.
Where you're just going to have fucking too many controls and it's just going to be brutal.
Try to throw a grenade, holding onto it. Oh god, yeah.
I mean, I reviewed the game a while ago and it was fucking horrid. It was the worst Kinect game I've played. Anyway, going off topic here, but just the fact that you can use your voice, and there's a couple of hidden things that I don't think people are recognizing. Let's say you're playing a horror game, and now this horror game, kind of reacts to you now as a person.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Kinect can detect your heart rate. It can tell you who you are, who's playing. Like it's quite an amazing piece of hardware. And let's say you're playing a horror game, Kinect's watching you, and it's saying, okay, your heart rate's going up more now. And you're playing a horror game. Well, let's say if the higher your heart rate, the more you're going to get scared.
That's actually kind of what we were talking about in a previous LTG. In that when we were discussing the pre-PlayStation 4 announcement, when there were the rumors of biosensors inside the PS4 controller. Of course, there isn't now. Mm-hmm. But when it was rumored, it was like, say you're playing Dead Space or something like that, and it notices that your heart rate is going up, then they just crank that level of just the scare, just the terror factor, just to get you going even more. So I could definitely see them doing that, especially with the Kinect now being confirmed, having that ability of detecting your heart rate and, well, as creepy as it is, watching you all the time.
But
Yeah.
the watching you all the time, I'll be honest, if someone wants to sit there and watch me play games, let them. I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest. If I'm playing games in my room, I'm going to be playing with my shirt off, and I'm just going to be eating whatever. And I'm going to be the typical fat guy playing games. And if Microsoft wants to watch me do that, I say let them. If they can do whatever they want with that footage, I don't care. But I mean, it's true. I mean, there are those times. I mean, I know you guys all live together and all this kind of stuff, but there are going to be those times where you're going to be by yourself and you're like, fuck, you know, it's too hot. Take off your shirt. You're playing games or whatever the case may be, right? But I mean, I honestly don't think Microsoft's going to do anything with that information, even if it was always watching you, even when the system's off. I did hear about this bylaw that's being passed in, not bylaw, but this law being passed in the States now. I guess it's going through, where if anything is watching you, you have to have a notification on the screen telling you,
that it's watching
you.
Okay.
So if it was off, you could watch people.
It wouldn't be able to watch it, yeah.
But I mean, that's not to say that's not going to stop Microsoft, but I mean, yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know. The console wars, in my opinion, I think people just need to fucking grow up.
Yeah, because you're getting both of them.
I'm getting both.
Are you thinking on getting either of them?
What I always do, I just wait until they actually hit the floor, and I wait to see what comes of it. Like the actual reviews, we can speculate all day, every day.
Yeah.
But what's going to decide is
it good?
Is it good?
Field test, yeah.
Just
when
like
it actually hits everyone. Yeah.
I compared it to like you're looking at a movie and it's about to come out. You're looking at like movie critics. And movie critics are slamming it. It's the worst movie in the world.
But you haven't
But
seen it
then
yet. Yeah.
you haven't seen it. No one else has seen it. You see it. It's great. You love it. It's awesome.
Exactly.
And what do those movie critics know? They make their job just by slamming. So
It's true.
And I mean, I used to review games, and I know exactly how it is, right? I mean, I can say I'm not going to say what website it was with, but we were offered a little bit of money to give a review a better score, and it was declined because, to be honest, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to pay people to say, hey, say our game's good so we can get better scores and people buy our game. No, I think that's bullshit.
No, a review is about what, like, legitimate thoughts on it.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, if people want a true review, fuck Metacritic, fuck IGN, fuck GameSpot, go on the smaller websites. Go around, look at the smaller websites, because those are the websites that actually still care. Websites like GameFocus.ca, websites like ShogunGamer.com.
I would almost say Rev3 as well.
Yeah.
Recently they did a review, well, it wasn't recently, it was a few months ago actually, they did a review of Dead Island Riptide. And Adam Sessler actually gave the game a 2 out of 5. And the review that he did was actually sponsored by Deep Silver. And even still, they
That's
ran the
interesting.
review. And he still scored it a 2 out of 5 regardless.
But, I mean, someone leaked out, there's an article, you can check it out online right now. Hey, you know what? I might even get you to link it in the comments
Sure.
or whatever. But there's an article you can check out. It tells you all the IGN review scores for games like Watch Dogs, for Battlefield, for some of these games.
The big AAA.
Yeah, the big AAA games. And the review scores have been leaked already. I've read this, and one of the reviews was Last of Us. And they said it was going to get a perfect 10 out of 10.
Really?
And IGN review came out, perfect 10 out of 10. So that's the first game that's been confirmed from that list that was apparently sponsored. Now, Last of Us is a great game, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love Last of Us. I'm a very asshole reviewer, though. I'll never give anything a 10 out of 10. Because I think 10 out of 10s on reviews are absolute bullshit. There's always something wrong with the game. Last of Us, in my opinion, loading times, that was brutal. I mean, there was no real loading screens after you got in, but the initial loading
initial loading screen took a while, yeah.
Yeah, that took a while. And you know what? There were a couple bugs here and there. I mean, I went through ladders, I went through, different parts of the game. And I just noticed a couple, and not only that, but it was only in 720p. I guess.
Was it?
Yeah. If you look at the back of the box, it's only 720p. When you go into the game, it's only 720p. It's not 1080. So that's another issue I had with Last of Us. I mean, it wasn't true 1080.
Right.
Again, you couldn't really tell that from playing the game, but I mean, I mean, all in all, it was. Don't get me wrong, it was an amazing game. 9.5 out of 10 is what I would give it. I just don't believe a perfect 10 review ever.
Fair enough. No, that's fair.
Yeah. But sorry, I want to get more to the actual hardware itself because I got a chance to play both of them.
Right.
Unless there was something else you wanted to bring up with the consoles.
Nope.
No. Okay. So the controllers is something I wanted to talk about.
Yes, I was actually just
Yeah.
Yeah. So the PS4, I played Drive Club, not Killzone, Knack, and I played what was the other game I played on the PS4?
Just tried Infamous, the new one.
No, they didn't have playable demos, at least when I was there.
Okay.
They might have had it behind closed doors.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I never had a chance to play that. Octodad, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Good.
I played that. The PS4 controller, I'm going to start off the PS4 because I think it's the most important. It does feel different.
Does
and
it? Okay.
It does feel different. I like the feel and design of the controller a lot better than the PS3 controller.
Okay.
'Cause the PS3 controller is a reskin of PS2 and PS1. It's exactly the controller.
Yes, it is.
The PS4 controller changed up a little bit. The thumbsticks are laid out a little bit more, and now that the thumbsticks have an indent on them, so it's no longer a dome shape like they are
Your
now.
fingers slip off of them, but like they're actually like stable now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And now, when you let's say you put your thumbs, in towards, your thumbs aren't going to hit each other because it's a little more spaced out.
Okay, cool.
Which is really, really nice. I thought that was a really nice touch. The controller itself, the triggers are angled now instead of just a trigger.
Yeah.
Which was one of my problems for the PS3. So like
how it like curved in. Like
yeah.
that.
So like the triggers are a dome. Like I don't know. PS3 is dome.
Yeah.
PS4 is indent.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're starting to realize what makes a good controller.
Yeah.
So that's what I liked about the PS4 controller. It was very nice. It was very nice to hold. It had round I don't know. It was almost like perfect rounded ends on it.
Yeah.
It was just a really nice controller to hold. The touchpad on it, I never had a chance to use it, but I mean, I did some testing on it, and honestly, it worked really good. Sorry, it worked really well with just finger placement.
Okay.
It didn't seem like such a task to move your finger over to there. It just moved your thumb, and that was it. So PS4 controller felt really nice.
Good.
It had rumble, of course, and all that
Yep.
kind of shit. I don't know if it has 6-axis. That was something I never tried out.
They'll probably implement it into it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the PS4 controller.
Yeah.
The
Xbox One. Yeah.
The Xbox One controller is, in my opinion, the better controller for one reason. And I don't know if you guys heard about this. It really hasn't been talked about too much, but it has haptic feedback on the triggers.
Oh, okay.
So your triggers actually vibrate.
Interesting.
And I didn't notice this. I played Rise. I played Forza. I played Project Spark. And I played, there's another game I played on the Xbox One. I can't remember what the other game was. But in Forza is the only game I realized that it was in there. And it made the experience so much better. I was playing Forza and I was about to hit the corner way too fast. So I slammed on the brakes, and as my car was screeching to a halt, that's when the haptic feedback kicked in and vibrated the trigger on me. And it felt more immersive. Like it felt like, you were actually in the car, and when you're trying to stop going that fast, your wheel does vibrate
Yeah,
from
it
that,
does,
right?
yeah.
And that's kind of what I felt from the controller. It was a very nice touch, and I mean, if games like Halo, Call of Duty stuff like implemented that for like shooting,
Yeah, it like buzzes your finger a little bit.
yeah,
every
or
shot.
even like charging a Spartan laser, I think that would be really cool. It vibrates more as you're charging
slowly
up.
more and more and more and more. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's 4 points of vibration, and 2 in the grips themselves, and then 2 in
The triggers.
Triggers,
Yeah.
okay.
And the nice thing about the triggers, you didn't hear it at all, and it didn't seem to affect any of the buttons. So like the RB and the LB, which by the way felt a lot firmer too. It was a little bit more spaced out. You do have to reposition your fingers a little bit, but the difference between the Xbox 360 and that one is that the RB and the LB buttons, they felt a lot more firmer. They're not so loose anymore.
Okay.
They felt like they were actually part of the controller, which is really nice.
Cool.
They had a lot firmer click, so I like that. And really, that's really about it. Not having the start and select button, it kind of pissed me off a little bit
Because it's now menu and view or whatever.
Yeah, something stupid. Yeah, menu and
So they just renamed the start.
They just renamed
well,
select
PS4
button.
as well. There's no longer a share button, there's no longer a start and select. It's called share and menu or something.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
But they took them out because whatever reason, but they have new functions where you can instantly share on both consoles. One over Twitch, PlayStation over.
Isn't it Twitch as well?
No, PlayStation has something else.
Oh.
Xbox has Twitch.
I thought it was
PlayStation has
Twitch as well.
Ustream.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ustream.
Yep.
So those are another really good features. I'm not going to go
Yes.
into those.
No.
Because it's pretty much self-explanatory. But yeah, the controllers, I like the 360 controller because of that haptic feedback. I thought that was amazing. It was a really nice touch. It's going to you're going to notice it when you pick it up for the first time. And in terms of feel, it feels exactly like the 360 controller. The same buttons, same layout, the exception of the RB and the LB,
Yep.
and the vibrating triggers.
So then you'd say out of new generation consoles, the Wii U gamepad / Pro controller, the PS4 controller, and now the One controller, the One wins.
The One wins.
Okay.
And the only reason, and this is part of my Xbox fanboy, kind of going out. I like the Xbox One. I love the 360 controller. I thought it was a very, very well done controller. I liked it a lot more than the PS3 controller.
Yep.
So that one in the current generation. Next gen, it's really nothing too much different. The PS4 is better. I love the controller now. I can actually play games with it. But the Xbox One wins. Really close PS4, and then really right at the bottom, I'm sorry, I don't like the Wii U gamepad controller.
That's fair.
And the Pro controller, it's nice, but there's a lot of I don't know. I think Nintendo could have done a better job with it.
Okay.
It's a digital trigger system, so it's not like the Xbox where you have different levels of trigger
Yeah, it's not analog. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not analog, which kind of sucked. I mean, playing games of Call of Duty, that's something that and Call of Duty Black Ops 2 plays really well on the Wii U.
It does, yeah.
I don't know if you
But
played it.
no, I picked up Black Ops 2 for the Wii U, and yeah, when I was playing it with the Pro controller, I did miss the whole pushing all the way down for the trigger, playing it on the 360 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't tried out of course either of the new controllers, so
Yeah.
I can't really say. I do love the Pro controller though.
Yeah.
I love it's lightweight. Okay, weight wise, how much do the new gen controllers weigh in comparison to the previous gen?
The PS4 did weigh a little bit more.
More.
From what I can remember.
Okay.
It weighed a little bit more. It's something that you really don't notice.
Yep.
The 360 or the Xbox One controller, practically the same.
Now, one thing I'm actually curious about with the PlayStation 4 controller in particular, because I remember there was a touchscreen sort of interface on the top.
That's
there.
a touchpad. That's what I was talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Okay.
He was saying the reaching from the buttons or the joysticks to the touchpad it's not a huge
Okay.
climb for your thumb.
Now, what is that exactly? How is that sort of laid out? What is it?
It's right above your thumbsticks, and basically it takes up, I'd say, probably about 15-20% of the controller.
Okay.
And I mean, have you played a Vita before?
No.
It kind of feels like the Vita backing.
Oh, the back. Okay.
Yeah,
It has
okay.
the same sort of texture as that?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It on the pictures it kind of looks like a rubber kind of thing, but
Yeah.
no, it's like a glass thing, and
Okay.
And is there anything displayed on that, or is it just like a touchpad? More, is it just like?
I'll be honest, I never had a good luck. I think it has the XO circle triangle thing.
So it's not a display; it's just a touch sensor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just a touch sensor.
Yeah.
That's all
Okay.
it is.
Alright.
Games will use it. I'll say that right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to make. I mean, I don't know how they're going to use it. There's different ways they can definitely use it. I was actually playing around. I was thinking ideas in my head, and one developer, Quantic Dream, that makes these, Heavy Rain and all that. They and even Metal Gear games.
Okay.
They try finding different uses for the controller, and they try kind of screwing with the gamer in a way.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, Heavy Rain, let's say they had, you had to put a key in a door, right?
Yeah.
I could easily see them making you grab the controller like this,
Yeah.
making sure that your finger's on the touchpad, and then, with 6-axis or the move, doing that,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Which I thought that would be kind of a cool little feature. And you can tell that they're holding it right if their finger is on the touchpad or not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you're not just going to do this and then go, that's just too awkward, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of cool ideas that they can do with the touchpad. Is it going to be a game changer? Maybe. Probably not.
Probably not. No.
But, I mean, yeah, that's basically what it is on the controllers.
So
Okay.
yeah, when it comes down
So-
to it, the touchpad is just more or less going to be gimmicky, kind of like how it was on the Vita.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
another thing I'd like to touch up on too, the games, of course.
I was just you're reading my mind.
Yeah, so the games are, I mean, on both consoles.
Okay, let me just ask you this just to start off.
Yeah.
In terms of all three big,
Yeah,
Microsoft,
I'll
Sony,
cover all of those. Yeah, yeah.
who wins for the lineup? For
In
the
terms of-
games just announced at E3 alone, just who wins?
In terms of quantity,
Yep.
Nintendo and Sony, I think it's a tie.
Quantity, okay.
In terms of quality, I hate to say it, but I mean I have to give it to Sony.
Sony, okay.
And I mean I'm a huge Xbox fan guy. It hurts me to say it. And there's two games that pop into mind when I say that. One is actually a PS3 title, and I got a chance to play it, Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, yes.
That game was, if you played Heavy Rain at all or not, it's something I think Heavy Rain is a game I think everyone needs to at least try.
Yep.
If you don't like it, that's fair. Beyond Two Souls, it's exactly like Heavy Rain. They didn't stray too far off from the formula, but it does have its own different features. You play Aiden the Ghost, the Spirit, who can possess people, push people in the walls, kill them, and
Oh,
strangle
right.
people.
I heard about that game.
It's a really cool game.
Okay.
So they did a really good job of Beyond Two Souls, and I think that one honestly won one of my best of shows for E3. I thought it was an excellent, and the gameplay demo they had you play was like 20 minutes long. It wasn't
Oh,
short.
wow. Very nice.
So it was a very, very nice game. Got you thinking a little bit too. I mean, there was a couple of parts where I actually got stuck in the demo itself, and I had to think of, okay, well, how am I going to make it past this situation? The other game, and I mean, hands down, you probably heard every media outlet say this,
Yeah.
and I know you guys probably know what it is, but Killzone. Killzone
Really?
was fantastic. I never got a chance to play it, but I did see it behind closed doors, and wow, it was. I have no words for it. The game looked very beautiful, as you can tell from the first the first demo they showed back in February.
Yes, yeah.
It looks exactly like that. That was
Really?
gameplay. That
Wow.
was that.
That's spectacular.
And it looked so well. It looked like it was running in, I think it was 60 frames. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But yeah, now even though that was Sony's kind of bit, Microsoft had a lot of good demos available as well. So in terms of Microsoft Rise, it was playable at E3. Had a chance to get hands on with it, and it's a game that I think everyone will need to play. It's a very tech demo based game, though, and I think that's what people have to remember. Is that
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, when you buy Rise, you're going to be playing it probably till you beat it, and then that's it. I think it's going to be a game people will miss, just so they can play the other games that are going to be available, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, and all that.
Yeah.
But I think it's people will miss until it takes a little bit of price drop, and then people will invest into it, because it's one of those games that you're going to want to play just because of the graphical style. And the graphics on it, just wow. Crytek did a really good job at making a very high-end gaming game.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. But I mean, they always do a good job with games of Crisis.
Yes,
right?
yeah. Visual has always been something that they've been able to boast.
Yeah, so they did a fantastic job with it. And when I was playing it, they actually showed me the smart glass integration with it. And
Oh yeah, I have smart glass.
yeah, everyone with a phone or a tablet will have smart glass available on launch. And even now, they can use smart glass on the Xbox 360 or Xbox One. But what I wanted to kind of touch up on this with tablets and phones, I'm not a big fan of it. I think, you know what, it's a phone and a tablet. It needs to stay like
Phone
that.
and tablet, yeah.
Not a gaming item.
Fair enough, yeah.
And when they called in the airstrike with their fucking smartphone on Dead Rising 3, I thought that was the dumbest shit ever. But with Rise, I can see it. I can see me pairing my tablet if they do take some of the stuff from Rise and implement it into other games. One thing I really liked about it was all your notifications, your achievement system, everything goes on the smart glass while you're playing the game. So no longer are you going to have so-and-so is online or achievement. Like I like having achievement unlocked on my screen, but it'd be kind of cool if that showed it on the tablet too. So one thing they want to say is your HUD is completely gone. They want it to
That's if you have it paired.
yeah, but they said that they want to kind of make it so you see everything that they made. You don't want to see like the other crap that that they don't care about.
Right.
Like how much health you have or something like that. That will all be shown on the tablet. One of the other cool features is that you had your whole friends list on your tablet. And as I was playing, they're like, "Do you know how to do this move?" And I said, "Well, no." And they're like, "Okay, we'll go to your friends list." And they had like a make-up friends list for me. And they said, "Okay, well, it had a progress bar on where I was, and they had people's faces." Where they kind of had an accomplishment, they made notes, stuff like that. And he's like, tap that guy's face. So I tapped it, and it brought up actually a gameplay video on the tablet itself on how they did an execution. All your gameplay from the Xbox One is recorded in real time, and anyone can access it from, anywhere depending on the publisher's discretion, of course, or developer's, sorry. But what was really cool is I was able to fast forward to that point where I was at, see what they did differently, and then I can play the game and kind of do the same as them. And Rise is a very brutal game. You want to get the cool executions, and I mean, from impaling some guy's head into a pole to curb stomping a guy with, I mean, it was a very, very exhilarating game. But just having that smart glass integration was really cool, and I hope more games do that in the future. I mean, will all games use it? No.
No, right.
But it was a nice gesture, and I think there's a lot people can do with the smart glass integration. I don't think it's completely done now. Before I hated it, even today.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, yeah, pair it up with Halo Reach or Halo 4, get different stuff, and I did, and it was like, oh, cool, I get to see stats.
Yeah.
Fun, yes.
Cool.
So it's when you integrate it in a way that makes it very unique, like Rise does,
Yeah.
in that, say you don't know how to do something.
Or even Project Spark.
Yeah.
It's in beta right now, and you can go sign up on the beta, whatever. But Project Spark, you made your maps with the tablet or the controller. Both ways worked amazing. But the tablet, it was all touch. And having that touch feel, there's some games that work with touch perfect, and other games that, the controller works better. But one game I was playing today, Meteor Sports. I don't know if you played that.
No.
That's one game that was optimized for touch. It was kind of like a Tetris type of game, but you match like 3 of the same color and it launches them.
Oh, Meteos, yeah.
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 So that game was optimized for touch, and I think having games that work with that are actually, tablet based but work on the Xbox as well. I don't know. It kind of provides a new control option. They're not forcing it on people, but they're telling you, hey, if you have a tablet or phone, you want to pair it up to us, it'll make your experience better.
I see.
Right?
Would you compare that to then, say, Nintendo and their 7 different ways to control one game type thing?
I like that.
You do?
I like the different options. At the same time, I don't, because now you have to go buy a different controller for this and this and this and this and this and this.
But that's the thing, though, is that, a gamepad, talking Nintendo's sake, is that a gamepad comes paired with the Wii U. The Pro Controller is completely optional. And every game will be revolved around the gamepad. You will not have a game that says you require the Pro Controller.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then of course, almost everyone has a Wii anyway, so you'll have Wii remotes laying around anyway.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like the different options.
Yeah.
But when you provide more options, it provides certain limitations. For example, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. You have a GameCube controller. You can play with the Wii remote.
Yep.
Play with the Wii remote nunchuck, and I believe you can play with the classic controller.
Classic control, yeah.
Now, here's the problem. For those veterans who played Super Smash Bros., they're going to use GameCube, hands down. For those who haven't, they're going to probably try the Wii remote and nunchuck. Let's say you don't have a GameCube controller lying around the house like I did. Then you have to play with the Wii remote and nunchuck, and that thing's fucking brutal if you don't know how to play with it. And it was just frustrating, and I think, I don't know, maybe this is just my personal gripe, but when you provide too many options, it provides different limitations, and not all controllers will kind of have the same battlefield, I guess.
Okay.
You're going to have different experiences with each, and I think that kind of impacts the game's final performance, in my opinion.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so I talked software about the Xbox a little bit there. I talked about PS4. I need to talk about Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo, even though they didn't announce a console, they're expanding on their Wii U library and they're expanding on the 3DS category. The problem with Nintendo, it's not coming out till either this fall or next year.
Or next year, yes.
And those games that are coming out this fall or next year aren't necessarily the games that we're really looking for. Let's
True.
be honest.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mario Kart, we're getting tired of. At least I am. Super Mario 3D World, it's a reskin of a 3DS game. It's going to be sold at $60, which I'm not a big fan of.
I'm more looking forward to 3D World as not a single player experience, but more a multiplayer experience, because now you can play multiplayer.
Well, in the demo that I played, I played with 3 other people there.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun.
Right.
We played. There's this dinosaur one where you have to jump in this dinosaur, and you went down this river, and you had to work as a team to go down this river. We were the only person at all of E3 that could not make it, because we just fucked around. We honestly didn't care. We were just trying to screw each other over, and that was the whole name of the game. And same with the generic Mario levels. The cat suit, overpowered in my opinion. You can climb up anything, and it just makes the game easy mode. But Super Mario 3D World, it was a fun game. I don't think it should be full price. I
Okay,
think
that's fair.
If they're gonna throw it on sale, maybe do $40
Okay.
maximum. Mario Kart 8, it was cool, but I'm over it now. I mean, I played too much Mario Kart to just. Man, I played so much Mario Kart.
Yeah,
It's
no.
the most played game.
We
on
all
my,
have, yeah.
It's the most played
Yep.
game on my 3DS right now. Mario Kart 8 is honestly just kind of a reskin of Mario Kart 7 with a couple. What's up?
The camera.
Is
Oh,
it
it
dead?
died.
Yeah.
Oh,
I heard it go.
Oh.
damn.
That's what I heard too. Well, what do we do?
Well, we still have audio recording. Nah, just continue.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Margaret 8, you were saying it's more just like a reskin of 7.
Yeah, it's more of a reskin of 7, but
I was reading an article in that, and it was saying that the customization, thank you, of the carts from 7 is returning in 8.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It wasn't available in the demo.
Okay.
Items were very limited too, so we don't really know what's going to be in the demo.
Right.
Or sorry, in the full game. The one thing that really, I mean, they always change something with each Mario Kart. This one was you could drive on walls and upside down. I'm fucking over it. I really am.
Super Mario. Yeah, let's see.
Or F-Zero was my immediate thought when I saw that.
Yeah. So Mario Kart was whatever. The Sonic Lost Worlds. I want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
Most definitely.
That game is going to be amazing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Thank the Lord, because as a big Sonic fan,
Yeah.
like biggest Sonic fan you'll probably ever meet.
I
was so thrilled to hear that they were going to do an exclusive for the Wii U, and I'm definitely picking that game up on day one.
If you enjoyed Sonic Generations and you enjoyed the previous Sonic game 2, what was it? What was before Generations?
Colors? Oh no, Generations. Yeah, Colors.
Colors.
Yeah.
Sonic Colors was a good game.
Yep.
So if you enjoy those two, you're gonna love Lost Worlds. Definitely, Sega tried a couple new things, and they really did well on it. It's a 3D Sonic game, but it does have the 2D aspects with it too.
Okay.
But they did it in a way that it just felt right. And
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I'd love to go more into detail. I'll be honest. Like I said, there's so much about E3, I did kind of forget about what I did play. But all I know is I walked out of that demo feeling pretty good about the game.
What are some of the new things that they've implemented?
Like I said, it's a little bit tough to explain after so long. But there was one level I liked. It was kind of like a racing level, and you had to race through this level, and there's like different ways you can take this level. So it was a 3D environment, and you're walking on like kind of rotating spindles, right?
Okay.
You have different doorways, you have different coin routes that you can go, and depending on what coin route you went, you get different items. So you can get like an extra life if you go one way, or you can get like a power up if you go the other way, right?
Okay.
And basically your task is just get to the end of the level like any other Sonic game. But it just kind of felt like you're playing a 2D game, like exactly how the 2D game is played,
Yeah.
where you have the different options, you have the different routes you can
Yeah.
take, but it was in 3D, like
Okay.
in a 3D environment.
Okay.
So I don't know, it felt very classic, but it felt, I don't know, it's really tough to explain. It felt like the same game, just in a 3D environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was a good game. Bayonetta 2, even though I didn't get to play it, looked amazing.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Get that game. What else did I play? I played Legend of Zelda, of that one, and I played the 3DS.
Oh,
one.
and the 3DS one, okay.
Yeah. Tale Between Two Links or whatever,
Yep.
or Link, yeah, whatever.
Link Between Worlds.
Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was it was cool. I think they're going to implement the going to a wall too much.
Too much. Okay.
Because I did it like probably about 10 times just in the demo I played.
Oh wow.
But it was a fun game. I played the new Yoshi game, Yoshi's Island, on the 3DS.
And
Great. It was exactly like the Yoshi's Island. If you like Yoshi's Island, you're gonna like this one.
cool.
Again, another reskin. That's kind of what Nintendo's famous for, but
The visuals of that one are very interesting.
kind of
It's like
cartoony. Kinda
very, very cartoony.
Kind of like a watercolor type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Did you try that one out?
I did.
And?
I'm probably gonna skip it.
Really?
Yeah, I might play it. I might pick it up.
Okay.
I was a big fan of the battle scenes, and I mean, I'm glad they still kept that in there. But I mean, it's just like any other Mario and Luigi game. You're gonna experience it like you did before, and it's basically. I didn't have too much time to play it. There's very limited amount of time to play that game, but I mean, majority of the 3DS stuff is played Zelda and Yoshi.
Okay.
What's another game I played at the Nintendo booth?
Did you try out Pikmin 3?
I already played it at PAX.
Okay.
And so I didn't try it again.
Right.
The only reason why I didn't try it is because it just the same thing. So I mean, there's other stuff to play at E3. I didn't have time, so I made that. You know, if I had time, I'd go back to it, but I didn't. So.
Okay. Is that a pickup or a skip?
Pick it.
Pick up.
Definitely pick it up. Pick it up, because if you don't pick it up, you're gonna be selling your Wii U. Because not a lot of games come out for the Wii U in the next little while here.
Yeah. No.
That's really about it at the Nintendo booth, I think. I'm just trying to do a tour around the booth in my head right now. I had the chance to play Donkey Kong. I skipped that. Again, it just looked like a reskin, and
Okay.
I'm not a big Donkey Kong Country fan, I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
So that's that. A few other games that I had hands-on time. I actually took a tour around the Activision booth.
Okay.
And Diablo, Skylanders, Destiny, Call of Duty, and there's another Activision game. I can't remember what the other one was. Out of all four of those, Diablo shined through.
Diablo, yeah, you were saying earlier. Yeah.
Diablo, wow. Diablo was an amazing title. They did a really good job with that one. It was very optimized for console. There's less loot, but there's better loot in the game now. And they made it so there's a quick queue system. So now every item you pick up goes right into a quick queue system. And you just go through your items. And you can either equip them, drop them, trade them to a friend, whatever the case may be. But just with the touch of a button. So it didn't stop your gameplay at all. And for Diablo veterans, it's going to be enough change to play it again. I think it's going to be a good game for everyone to try out.
Okay.
They changed it enough for the console to make PC gamers want to play.
And that's a PS3 and PS4 exclusive, right?
No.
they're
It's coming up to the Xbox 360.
Really?
This
Okay.
September, yeah. September 3rd, I think, is the release date for it. So that's going to be a game to pick up. Call of Duty, people hate all these Call of Duties, but I mean,
I'm not gonna deny Ghost does look pretty.
yeah, it was a cool game. I got to see 3 levels of the game.
Okay.
And the levels that I played, levels that I saw, were all running in 60 frames a second. And that's another thing. All the Xbox One games that we're playing were all 60 frames a second. Every single one of them. There is no game running underneath that, which is a really, really nice touch.
That is nice, yes.
PS4, there were some games running at 30 frames. Some of them were running at 60 frames, I believe Killzone was. But anyway, Call of Duty looked really nice. Got to see 3 levels. One, they actually were on a skyscraper. And I think it's going to be the same map that they're going to introduce in the multiplayer as a creator bonus right now. Because they announced that there is a skyscraper-like map that's going to be on a creator bonus. And basically it was like during some kind of parade in the level, and the guy was like, kind of binding down the glass, shot a guy through the glass, punched his way in, and then kind of annihilated the whole skyscraper. It was really, really cool. So that was a really cool kind of gameplay demo. Skylanders, what do I say about Skylanders?
Skylanders.
It's going to be the next big game for kids.
Yep.
And what was the other game I said? Destiny.
Yes.
Saw it behind closed doors, and all you got to see was the same bullshit that the E3 demo was. So I really don't need to tell you guys too much of that.
No.
God damn it.
One thing that a game that I just remembered that you didn't actually talk about at all yet is it's Sunset Overdrive.
That wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
No.
Really?
Not that I saw, at least. I didn't see anything about Sunset Overdrive, and honestly, it's one of the games that are going to fly underneath the radar, I think. They haven't really said too much about it after their announcement.
Who's developing? It's Insomniac. Yeah.
So
I find that very curious, but anyway.
Yeah.
But nothing about that. That's interesting.
The other games I saw, just to list off a few. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I saw Need for Speed Rivals, which, in short, amazing Need for Speed game. It's something that you're going to want to pick up. It's kind of like an open world game, but you can engage in races with anyone that's racing with you.
Is it online?
I think so.
So then you'll be actively seeing people driving around you.
Yeah.
That's
I think so. I think.
actually awesome. That's
yeah,
very
I only
awesome.
played like a versus demo, so that was really about it. Titanfall, even though I didn't get to see or play it, they had a 2-player live gameplay behind closed doors. Got to see that. Wow, for an online only game, I think it's going to be a game that people are going to want to pick up.
Really?
For sure. Titanfall looks just amazing, and Respawn Entertainment did a really good job at making that game.
I'm not gonna deny it looks pretty, but it looks
very lackluster.
boring to me.
I don't know.
It looks like it would be fun at first, the gimmick of the mechs and whatnot, and then
And then it would just kind of fall flat into the same category as most shooters, right? Where it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, oh, there's that one little bit of the gameplay that's kind of cool, and then everything else is just shooting.
Yeah.
kind of like how Rage was. How it was like really, really hyped up. It looked really good, and
it was made by
came out.
Bethesda,
Yeah, it
too,
was made
so-
by and then it came out, and people had fun with it initially, and then it just kind of died, and then immediately went as price drop. Price drop.
It's really hard to say about Titanfall, but from what I saw, it looked really good, and I think everyone's gonna it's gonna be a big seller for sure.
Okay.
I did get a chance to see FIFA, Madden, NHL, but I mean, you guys don't want to hear about that. Got a chance to play Battlefield, and I mean, aside from to be honest, aside from Battlefield 3 and the gameplay demo that you saw, it's basically play Battlefield 3 if you want to know what Battlefield 4 plays like. It's honestly
Same thing, yeah.
pretty much the same thing.
No. Metal Gear 5. Did you see,
Nothing.
play?
Nothing was there.
Okay.
No.
Yep.
So that kind of sucked. Not at least that I saw. There was
Yeah.
nothing there. But, I mean, like I said, there was a lot at E3.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a chance to play the new Phoenix Wright game
Oh yeah.
on the 3DS, which is cool.
And it's completely 3D.
Completely 3D.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those who haven't played it, try to find it and try to play it. It's a great series. Phoenix Wright 5, it basically goes back to when Phoenix Wright came back to if you guys played the last game, spoiler alert by the way, but basically Apollo Justice did a case for Phoenix Wright, and Phoenix Wright was no longer
an attorney. Yep.
yeah, attorney, and this was after that, and he became an attorney again. So that's that. You have the emotion kind of played now that you can tell the emotions of someone. So if they're saying something, like in the demo I played, she was about to get crushed by rubble, and in the statement you can look at her emotion, and she was feeling happy about being crushed by rubble, and so you pressed her on it, and she's like, "Oh, I was happy because someone rescued me," and then so you go on.
And then you can press more and more like that.
Yeah, so it was a cool game.
Am I correct in? Okay, I think I heard this that it's not going to be packaged retail. It's only going to be downloadable.
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I do remember reading that somewhere, and I was disappointed because it can't go along with all my other copies of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but whatever the case, I'm gonna be picking it up for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely picking that one up as well.
They did have Castlevania there. I didn't have a chance to play it. They did have the new Splinter Cell Blacklist there. Again, never had a chance to play
Didn't play it, okay.
Kingdom Hearts 1.5 was there. Didn't have a chance to play that. Frankly, I didn't want to play it, just
Really?
because who wants to play an HD remake of the game at E3 when you could be playing?
Oh, when you play
other
new
stuff?
games. Yeah, okay, that's
I mean,
fair.
I played a little bit of Fable Anniversary, which was all right. I mean,
Fable Anniversary is Fable 1, just
Yeah.
HD,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing they did with Halo.
Okay.
Saints Row 4 was a lot of fun.
Oh,
Got a chance
yeah.
to play that.
Oh,
I
I'm
asked
excited
about
for
Saints
that,
Row 4
yes.
actually.
Step gun was cool.
And like superpowers, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh,
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
When
so
does that come out again?
August 20th.
August.
I think.
I
Nice.
have to pre-order that.
Um,
Probably for Xbox 360 too, right?
everything.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, not the new consoles, but pretty much.
This gen.
Yeah.
Oh, it is just this gen. Not
Yeah.
coming out for that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pre-order
I
that.
can't believe I forgot about Saints Row. I'm just trying to remember like the whole, because there's two different parts of the V3. There was like a East Wing and a West Wing one. I'm pretty sure I went over all the West Wing stuff. The East Wing stuff, I got a chance to play.
GT. Right?
Grand Theft Auto was not there in any way, shape, or form.
Really?
Nothing. Oh, Bethesda's booth. I completely forgot about them.
Oh yeah, Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, so I got a chance to play 2 games and check out one behind closed doors. So Elder Scrolls Online and Wolfenstein are both playable. Elder Scrolls Online felt like a lot like World of Warcraft, but it had its own Elder Scrolls feel to it. I didn't get a chance to play the first person mode that they just announced, but you can play it in first person, and from what I saw, it looked pretty goddamn amazing. So I mean, I think people will pick it up just to try it out, and then like any MMO, I think it's gonna go free to play after a while, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, but that's they're good at developing games, so. I do have to admit, it's not the best looking game for today's generation. It does look like World of Warcraft, so.
But I mean, when you're trying to appeal for such a large audience, you can't necessarily fit into everyone else's PC specs.
Exactly.
So for MMOs especially, you definitely have to fit.
Yeah, you have to.
Within.
I'm just afraid of it being another MMO.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
there's so many of them.
There's so many of them, and they all they don't play the same per se. They all bring something new to it, but they get boring fast. Like
Definitely.
we tried getting into Guild Wars 2 just recently, a couple months back, and
too much grinding.
it was fun at first, and then it just got boring.
Just
I tried Terra. Terra was
I would
identical.
disagree with
to,
the grinding. Sorry to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Just with Guild Wars, I felt like there wasn't so much grinding because, I mean, I got up to I think it was level 38 or something like that. And it wasn't so much that the grinding or anything like that was kind of slowing you down. It was just more or less to the point where like the world was so big and it really made it feel really empty as you're like traversing across these landscapes and you're going to each place, and eventually it just gets stale.
Yeah.
And then you're eventually forcing yourself to go from area to area, finding each and every little nook and cranny and finding every point of interest and every vista and all that sort of stuff. And all of that just kind of, it really drags out the experience. See, WoW is kind of streamlined in that when you go from area to area, you just pick up quests in one little town, then you go to the next.
Yeah.
And it's really like, yeah, sure, it's linear in that sense and it's kind of streamlined in that way, but it gives the game flow, which is kind of hard to achieve with an MMO.
Yeah.
To talk about MMOs quickly, and this is completely non-E3 based. The one MMO that, in my opinion, did it right at the beginning and started going off course. You guys are gonna hate me for this.
Say it.
RuneScape.
You're gonna say
Okay.
it, yeah.
I thought RuneScape was a great game at the beginning. I know you're making the face at me right now, but at the same time,
chopping wood.
you know what? Now it's gotten to, like, RuneScape was a simple MMO. It was one of those games you could sit down and just play and like maybe for an hour or two and you're done. Now it's like fucking World of Warcraft. You need to fucking invest time into it, grind the shit out of everything.
Did I read correctly? Like, I've been reading a lot of articles lately. That's why I keep on bringing up this. But did I read that RuneScape 3 is coming out?
Yeah, I was just about to go into that. They announced RuneScape 3 is coming out, and they got a couple new skills coming out for it. The game itself, it's a browser-based MMO, and to make a game look good on a browser-based MMO is tough. But what they're doing is, because it was all by Flash and Java.
Yeah.
Now they're
HTML5?
completely converted
With
to HTML5.
WebGL, isn't it?
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, with WebGL. Because
And-
I heard they've made some huge advancements with that now, to the point where you can do like entire water simulations now.
Yeah.
Like
No,
it's incredible.
Wow.
The game itself looks pretty decent. And not only that, but they have already talked about expanding it beyond the PC. So
interesting.
tablets are going to be seeing RuneScape by the end of the year, which is kind of a
Really?
cool little thing. And then they are planning on, they want to bring it to consoles. They want to bring the RuneScape appeal to consoles. They said the only obstacle is, like they said, it's very easy developing for a console.
Yes.
But they said the only obstacle that they run into is that Sony and Microsoft don't like to play nice. And by that, if they're going to bring it, they need cross compatibility, which is something that really
Those
has,
two are not going to fare well.
There
That's
was
the thing.
one game though that did have cross compatibility between Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. I can't remember what game it was though.
Wasn't it? No, never mind. I was gonna say
It was-
Global Offensive, but
No,
It's
it
not.
was going to be, and then they ran into
And then, yeah,
issues.
they just,
I can't remember the game. If it comes to me, I'll let you guys know. But yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was all my MMO talk. But yeah, Elder Scrolls Online. That it looks like another MMO.
Yeah. We'll have to see what that actually turns out to be. Personally, I'm not sold yet.
Yeah, me neither.
I'll have to see more. But yeah.
Wolfenstein, I'm not a Wolfenstein fan. I don't know what to say. It just seemed like a shooter to me.
Yep.
I'm sorry to all those Wolfenstein fans out there. The one game, actually, best to show, one of the nominees, I'd say, for sure, The Evil Within. That's a new horror game made by Bethesda, and wow, it was. I
thought I heard something about that game, but sorry, go on.
Yeah, no
actually.
worries. One of the cool things about that game, it was. Are we running out of time on there?
Running out of battery, actually.
Okay, I'll make this quick then.
Yep.
One of the big things about the game, it's going to scare the shit out of everyone. I was watching it, I was scared. I mean, it was a pretty graphical game. But like, there was one room he walked into. There's a pool of blood on the ground, and it was him walking through corridors, hearing screams and everything. Right. The moment he opened the door, and to make it scary, it was like an old classic kind of feeling game, right? Mm-hmm. And when he opened the door, there was a pool of blood on the ground. He approached it, and all of a sudden, this body started coming out of it, and like it looked like a spider girl, and it just like started crawling and making these screeches sounds.
Is this for PC or consoles? Or
consoles
both?
and PC?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, to my knowledge.
This year?
Next year, I think.
Next
Oh
year.
my
Okay.
god, a game like that with NVIDIA 3D vision?
A game like that developed for Project
Oculus Rift.
Oculus Rift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And speaking of, that's going to be another.
That we'll have to talk a whole another
Yeah.
LTG about the virtual reality stuff, because just let me say two things. The Omni,
Yeah.
that treadmill thing, that holy fuck, the any direction you're walking on it treadmill combined with Oculus Rift with whatever that shooty thingy is.
Yeah.
What is it? The Razer Hydra or something like that? Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the closest thing to 100% virtual reality before you actually get into plugging into someone's brain.
Yeah.
The coolest thing. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, so I don't know, like they had I don't know if you heard the Ouya.
Yeah.
It just came out.
Yep.
GameStop in the States is completely sold out of it.
Yeah.
Like, they can't keep it in stock. I don't know if we're going to be carrying it in Canada at all. But they had a lot across me through, because they didn't buy a booth.
Mm-hmm.
They went the cheap route and just rented a parking lot, which is like $100 for them, and they rented it right across the E3 Expo. The ESA got really pissed off.
I
They're the
saw
ones
that, yeah.
They called the cops on them.
Really?
And initially they rented out the space in front of them and put like big trucks in front of their booths so no one could see it. Mm-hmm. And then in turn they rented out the next parking lot and just set it there. Mm-hmm. And then they called the cops after that, and they presented permits and they were fine. But the Ouya or whatever you want to fucking call it,
Yeah.
it's I'm not a big fan of it, but I mean it's a cool little Android based.
From what I understood from the reception so far, at least from what I've gathered, is that most people are saying it's just $100 emulation machine. Now,
More or
pretty
less.
much?
What all it is just like
It's just Android.
Okay, well,
It's just Android on your TV.
it's Android and $100 console with a Bluetooth thing. Like, if you really wanted to, my phone has an HDMI out, right? Plug it into the TV. I've got all my emulators and games on there. Just grab a Bluetooth controller, pair it, and that's it.
That's it.
That's
exactly.
that's the Ouya. Except it does have the Tegra 3 or 4.
I think it's the Tegra 3, if I remember.
Tegra 3 or
correctly, 'cause
4.
Might as well
Tegra,
buy a tablet, to be honest with you.
You might as well buy a tablet. You get you wouldn't get more. Well, actually, you would get more out of it. But anyway,
did NVIDIA make any appearances at E3 as well?
with the Shield.
They did. I didn't have a chance to play it.
Okay. I do know that the Shield was supposed to come out
Price drop
a
on it.
week ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever, but then because of some mechanical issue or whatever, they delayed it by like a month or something like that.
I don't really know.
Okay, well, but the Shield, it looks really, really cool. Like, it's same thing as the Ouya more or less, but it's like built-in controller with like, you got your controller like this. But you also have the ability of streaming your Steam library.
Yeah.
But that's only if you have an NVIDIA GeForce graphics card in your computer, because all it is just literally just streaming video.
Okay.
It's not actually like playing it on the thing.
Okay.
Your computer's playing it and just streaming it to the thing over the over Wi-Fi. So that's really cool about like gaming on the go.
Yeah.
But
But it's only if you're connected to a Wi-Fi.
It is,
connection,
yes.
isn't it? Yeah.
but $400 for it, I don't know if that's warranted, really.
Oh yeah, of course. I wouldn't personally. I don't feel compelled to buy one
No.
anytime soon.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, sure. Like I don't even really care that it's only if you have an Nvidia card, because I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. They're trying to push their product. I get that. Or like most PC gamers these days use an Nvidia card anyways. So I mean, they're already winning the graphics card race in the market anyways. So it's not like it's that much of a problem for most consumers. I mean, I think the main thing is that, like, you know, I just don't see the purpose in buying a $300 streaming device. I mean, when I sit down to play games on my PC, it's usually because I'm playing with my keyboard and mouse. Like when I'm playing Dota 2 or when I'm
But that's
playing
exactly it.
shooters.
You'd
or-
only be able to play the games that have controller support.
Of course. And that also brings up to my next point, which is, you know, there's not many games, at least in my library of PC games that I play, that I enjoy using a controller for.
Mhm.
Right.
Fair.
I mean, there's been a few multi-plats where it's like, yeah, sure, I'll use it, like Assassin's Creed or something like that. Like, that's fine. But I mean, like any shooters or any sort of any games that really feel a lot better with a keyboard and mouse,
Mhm.
I find it's just not worth it to use a controller for.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to my point there, E3 though, I mean, that's basically my sum for that. I mean, I really got nothing else to say. The displays were all awesome. Everyone did a good job on their booths. And would I go there again? Maybe if it was partially covered for me. It was very expensive.
Yes.
But the atmosphere there was nice. For those of you that you want to go to E3, go to PAX.
Go to PAX. Okay.
And I'm saying that because you're going to have the same goddamn experience, if not better. PAX hosts a lot of parties. You can get into any party pretty much every night you're there. They have the panels, which are really something to go to. They do announce stuff, and you know what? The tournaments are really cool too. They have the classic tournaments where you can go play NES games, and they have tournaments for that. They have next gen console tournaments. They have first peaks, like Battlefield 3 had a tournament before it was launched there, which is really cool. Overall, if you're going to go to either expo, go to PAX. You're going to get the same experience, if not better.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, out of all of the games that were shown at E3, which would you say was probably the best you saw?
That's actually exactly what I was about to say. I was about to go around everyone and just say your personal favorite E3 announcement.
Well, starting with me then.
Yeah.
I would have to say that the best game shown off at E3 this year.
Just your personal favorite.
Fuck. You know what? I'm just gonna say Destiny.
Destiny.
Destiny, I thought was an amazing game. I'm sad that they didn't show more, but it's gonna. I honestly think it's gonna kick all sorts of ass.
Can I tell you what I honestly think about Destiny?
Yeah,
I think it's Halo cross Borderlands.
it is, and
Okay.
that's why I love it.
Okay.
I'll be straight up honest. I love Borderlands. I love Halo.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be that, but with 7 friends playing with you at once. I think that's just amazing. And the fact that they had 8 people playing this game at the same time, and you know they're going to integrate it with the tablets and the phone as well. Destiny's always going to be connected with you. So if you're playing and I'm at work or whatever, and you want to say, "Hey, can I borrow your sniper rifle for a sec?" Like, sure, and I just send it right from my phone, which is really cool. I think it's going to the fact that Activision is promising 10 years of content. It's a huge statement.
That is, yeah.
But if anyone can do it, Activision can. And that's
Is that 10 years of content as in Destiny 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the following 10 years?
who knows?
Or is that 10 years of DLC?
You gotta keep in mind this is Bungie too, right?
This is true.
Yeah, Activision is just a publisher.
They are-
Activision will give Bungie the money to do it.
That's exactly it, but it's under their terms.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, I honestly think Destiny will be a huge game, and it's gonna take some investing into Destiny.
yeah.
But it's
Are
See,
there-
I'm on the fence on it, leaning more towards the I'll pick it up side, but I still want to see more, and it's not going to be cross-platform compatible, is it? Like, meaning I'll be able to play, say, you get it for your 3 or your 1, and I get it for the PS4, say, for example. Would we be able to play online? Do you know?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
I don't know if that was one of the games, because there was one game where you can do that. I can't remember for the life of me what it
Yeah.
was.
Because that would be fantastic, and it would make... Because it's coming out for PC as well, right?
And not till the year after.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, even so, like if you could play online with like PC, PS4, and Xbox One, is it coming out for Wii U?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, if you could play all three of those consoles, like we get it for PS4, you guys get it for Xbox One, whatever, then that would be fantastic. We could play together, but
Yeah.
and I think that would be a huge, huge selling point.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's like Jagex said,
Yeah.
they don't play nice together.
No, they
and
don't.
it's really hard to make a game like that happen. So, but
So Destiny's your pick.
ooh,
Yeah.
Are there
yours?
any? I was gonna say to add to your favorite game that you would say was the best at E3. Were there any runner-ups as well? Like one or two runner-ups?
Tons. I mean, Titanfall. Wow, I love Titanfall. The Evil Within was a very, very well presented game, and I can't believe I forgot it. You know what? The Plants vs Zombie shooter. Wow, that game.
Actually?
That not only was that game plastered with awards, but it actually looked like a lot of fun. And I think it's something the whole family can get into. So that game, I mean, there's so many games that were at E3 that I can say they were good. Are they going to be all good when they come out? No, because a lot of them are meant to look like they're good.
Yeah,
right.
to generate hype, of
To
course.
generate hype.
Yeah.
I mean, Dead Rising 3 was there. I mean, that looked good, but
Is it actually going to be good?
yeah, who knows, right?
I don't know.
But yeah, Destiny would be my pick, I guess. But there's so many close runner-ups. I mean, Killzone was amazing. Rise looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah. See, you
Disney
have a better
Infinite,
you have a better I guess input on this topic, like your favorite thing, because you were actually able to play firsthand these games, whereas us were just going based off of footage that we saw live streaming.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, we both think, Lolo and I both think that Titanfall looks very lackluster, but you're saying it's very, very close as a runner-up for your favorite.
Oh yeah.
So again, you played it, we didn't. We'll have to see and wait until it actually comes out.
But like, what did you think about, like, what was your personal favorite from E3 based off what you've seen?
I would say Destiny 2, just because I've been anticipating Destiny since ODST.
Yeah.
Like, I saw that poster in New Mombasa and I was like, what is Destiny is coming? I don't get it. Is that a new game? That's not Halo? Like, I've just been so excited for this game, and I see, like, even what little has been released and what I've looked up, like,
They're
on the
teasing
Bungie
us.
website.
They're teasing us.
They're being little.
And that's what Bungie does. And, you know, people can say, oh, well, Halo's a shitty game.
I don't know.
But you know what? Yeah, some people might not like ODST because it was just too different. Some
Yeah.
people might not like Halo 3 because, you know, maybe the story didn't end well for them. But in my opinion, Halo was an excellent game. Was it overhyped? Fuck yeah, it was. But at the same time, it was a great game.
Not Halo. I guess you can include Reach. Reach to Halo 3 was a great series, and
Halo
I thought
4
Halo
was
3
even-
ended really well.
Yeah.
I just can't quite adjust to Halo 4 still, because Halo 3 to me was just like, I'm okay with this ending. I'm okay with this is the last of it. Like, I'm okay with this ending. But then Halo 4 came out and kind of ruined it, and I was like, And I really don't like Call of Duty as a shooter at all. Like, zero. Like, I personally like FPSs as a genre. I just
Don't
dislike
like the genre or that franchise.
I just don't like the Call of Duty franchise. And it felt to me like Halo 4 was kind of a little bit of a COD-ish. A little bit. I'm sorry.
No.
Hot sauce.
Oh.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I felt that just half an hour ago.
Fucking felt awesome. Anyway,
Yeah. So I've been anticipating Destiny for a long time. But if I were to say a runner-up, I would definitely say Saints Row 4.
Saints Row 4. Okay.
Just how sandboxy and ridiculous it is, and then tied with it would be GTA 5, because it's its exact opposite, serious,
dark. Yeah.
not
Well,
dark,
not dark,
but just
More tense and
more tense, more real. While Saints Row takes it just cartoony,
Too far, yeah.
superpowers, dubstep guns, Like, it's just, I don't know. To compare the both of them, they're like the same sort of genre, but like so different.
Yeah.
That's why I like both
that
of them.
open world
equally.
Apples and
Sandbox.
grapes.
Apples and grapes.
They're both fruits.
What about you, Joe?
Yeah.
Me. The one that got me the most excited. Okay, actually, that's tough. The top two that got me the most excited was, I was fucking stoked for Smash Bros. But seeing Mega Man
Yeah.
in Smash Bros, I lost it because I've been wanting Mega Man in Smash Bros since Melee. I've been like, oh, what if Mega Man? This is his moveset. This would be perfect. And then Mega Man, and it's just like, holy shit! It's like they were listening to me. What is that on top of Kingdom Hearts 3? When Square Enix not got up on stage, when they had their little video presentation during Sony's conference, and they showed off Final Fantasy 15, of course, me being the extreme Final Fantasy fan that I am, I got stoked for it, even though it doesn't look like it plays like Final Fantasies at all. Doesn't matter, it's Final Fantasy, I'm excited. And then the Kingdom Hearts thing came on, and I thought it was just a trailer for the 1.5 or whatever, 2.5 HD remake that they were doing. And then they were like showing footage of 1 and 2 in high definition. Oh, this is pretty. Okay, this is nice. Okay, my hype went down. Then the logo comes on, and the 3 strikes through the Kingdom Hearts logo. Lolo and I, oh my god.
Oh god.
I wish we were recording our reaction because we were both like, oh my god, it's 3, it's 3, it's 3, and then it's just like, oh no, it's not 3, it's not 3, it's not 3, and then we both jumped off the couch and just fucking hugged each other, and it was just, it was a good time.
Yeah.
So in terms of absolute hype, the hype train, those two got me the hypiest, but they're not coming out for another good year, maybe even 2 years.
Yeah.
So with what's coming out immediately within the next, this next generation of, or this next year, I suppose I should say rather. To be brutally honest, this E3 didn't really amaze me in terms of the games. I mean, I'm excited for the consoles, both of them. The PS4 more so than the one. I will probably end up getting both of them, but I do have the PS4 pre-ordered right now. Game-wise, though, I would probably have to say it's a tough one. Honestly, there's a bunch of games that are very, very like, okay, this looks cool across the board. For number one, I'd probably have to say Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, and this one just, the Fox engine looks absolutely brilliant.
Well, I mean, when you stealth behind a horse like that.
Right?
Brilliant gameplay.
Right?
It's revolutionary. I mean, we've all hidden in boxes and bushes, duh.
Yeah.
But I've never hidden behind a horse. Kojima, you're a fucking genius.
But no, really. That's probably
Yeah.
the one I'm most excited for because, well, it's the one that's coming out the soonest, and I'm just most excited for, I suppose.
Yeah. Cool.
Lola?
Okay, well, I guess there are two games that I think of in particular that I'm excited for. And the first one being Knack for the PS4. I think it looks interesting, and it looks different, and it's got this kind of charm to it, and it's just kind of like winking at me, and it's just kind of like, pick me up. Come on. You want to buy me. Come on. You're getting a PS4. Come on. You want to buy one. And it's like, it just looks so cool. I want to give it a go, and I want to see what it offers. Other than that, Project Spark to me looks really interesting because I think just the idea of building like you have your main concept for like gameplay, but then having the ability to kind of like make your own levels within it, and then working around that limitation and just kind of giving the player a perspective of how a developer thinks is a really interesting idea. And I think if they can really create some sort of way to kind of deliver the message to the player of what a developer goes through when they're making levels and when they're working around the limitations of a game, I think it could be amazing, and it could be really like eye-opening for a lot of gamers. And the idea that it's coming out for the Xbox One and Windows is an amazing idea, I think, because sure, there's the Xbox One, and like the people who get it for the Xbox One will be able to use it. But I like the idea of using it on Windows, because then from there, it's just kind of like I could make a level, and then from there it's like, wow, I know what I could do to make a level now, like in a game, and then I'm right there, and I could just Alt Tab out and go into 3ds Max or something.
Yeah.
You know what Project Spark kind of reminds me of? And I know it's completely different, but it gives me a very what's it called? The DIY mode of Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Project Spark, I mean, to kind of touch on your point, it's going to be simple, but it's going to be complex enough for people to do crazy stuff, like Little Big Planet. People have made working calculators in Little Big Planet. People have done a lot of crazy shit in it. But with Project Spark, I mean, they showed me a lot of cool little ideas. I mean, you saw it from the E3 demo. People made working versions of Geometry Wars.
Yeah.
People made working versions of Limbo. Like it was a really cool, a really cool concept. And I mean, once the creative community gets a hold of that, it's just going to explode.
Yes.
And Project Spark, it's coming out for 360 as well. But when I played it, wow! I mean, just how easy it was to create a map and make it look good. It was quite amazing. And I mean, when you put a grass texture on, let's say you go over water stream, it's going to create like a pebble water effect. And it's not going to just make grass underneath your water. It's going to make it so it blends in with your water and everything, right? So it blends in with your environments. Even if you make a mountain, you'll blend in with the mountain and make a mountainscape.
I almost feel like, personally, I would enjoy Project Spark more on PC. But they're not. Are they bringing it to Windows 7?
No.
No. And that's the problem. Because
Windows 8 is a solid operating platform.
Well, I haven't adopted yet, and I don't plan to. That's the thing. Not saying that. Well, yeah, I have my gripes about Windows 8. Yeah, they're making it better, but I haven't adopted it, and I don't plan to eventually. Not yet, at least. So, am I stuck with getting it for console?
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Okay.
So. There.
That's the only thing, is that I just feel I'd enjoy it more on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
Because you have more precision in, like, say you want to drag like a path from left halfway to the screen up and then whatever, You could make that a lot more intricate with a mouse, because it's kind of like the whole first-person shooter versus first-person shooter on console versus PC thing, is that you have more precision.
I don't know. You mean, a lot of people don't have Windows 8 yet.
Yeah.
But I think this integration, especially with the next generation of consoles coming out, it's going to force a lot of people to go into that.
I think even still, I would just make a partition on my drive and put Windows 8 on that.
Exactly. And you know what? I mean, you might not have Windows 8 now. I hated using Windows 8 when I first installed it. As you get to work with it, you actually realize the potential of the operating system. I mean, the fact that I can, like, Xbox Music I use a lot. It's surprisingly a lot, actually. When I go to my Nokia phone, I'm going to be using it a lot too. Basically, you can stream whatever music you want without a problem. And you listen to music I listen to music all the time when I'm playing games on the computer. Just using Xbox Music with that was a really cool feature. But not only that, but having all the apps available, so you can play. I mean, you're not going to want to sit there and play Cut the Rope on your fucking computer, but I mean, it's going to have that option available for you. So if you want to play Spartan Assault, I mean, you can download that right onto your Windows 8 computer and play Spartan Assault, which, by the way, comes out right away, like this month sometime. Yeah. So, I mean, that was a cool game too. It kind of felt like Geometry Wars in a sense, but I'm not talking about that right now. But anyway, Windows 8 it is improving a lot, and I know a lot of people don't see the point of upgrading now, but once the next generation of stuff starts coming out, you're gonna see a reason why you want to upgrade.
I think the only reason why now, at least for me, like as someone who's like a very avid PC gamer, I feel like the only reason why I would upgrade to Windows 8 is if they made DirectX 12 for Windows 8, and it's like, okay, sure,
I'm done. Yes, that's it.
But
there you go.
I mean, you got to keep in mind too, Smart Glass is on Windows 8, the full thing. So even if you guys want to use you can technically run a dual display for the Xbox with your PC. You can have Smart Glass operating on your monitor and then have your Xbox running there, and then all your notifications will go on Smart Glass on your PC, And let's say like the Rise thing, if you wanted to see how a friend did it, you can view it in 1080p, run on your computer,
Right on your computer,
and
yeah.
you'd be set to go, right? So, but no, to sum it all, like I said, E3, amazing expo. It's something to experience, but again, PAX is the way to go.
PAX is the way to go, yeah.
And I don't know, it's the games are really cool. The conference is really cool to see. In my opinion, no one this year had a crappy conference. If the crappiest conference I had to go with would be probably Ubisoft's, because they had a good conference, especially the Division, but wasn't the best one.
It wasn't nothing.
Last year they kicked.
Yeah,
everyone's
last year
ass.
was awesome. This year they were just very, well, in comparison to everyone else, they kind of just fell short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's pretty much my mind out to my comments and thoughts about E3.
Okay. And I think with that we should wrap up this this week's LTG.
Absolutely.
I think it was a good talk. We pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover, more or less.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Thanks for listening, people. If you got any comments or if you have any ideas of what we can LTG later or in the future, just let us know in the comments. Other than that, any final words?
Hashtag I'm the real Pogo. That's my.
Sorry about the camera.
Ollie, Ox are free.